now, please welcome to the stage California Governor Gavin Newsom.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Governor.
Is that Optimus Prime? It's nice.
It is a privilege to stand by your side.
It is good to have you standing by my side, and I'm going to invite you up for our final budget negotiations, Optimus. It's good to be with all of you, and I want to just pay particular thanks to Jeff Shell, to Helen Irwin, others, and the team here at Universal for the privilege and opportunity to be here today and to make the announcement formally here today that we're making around the full reopening of the California economy. We are here, June 15th, to turn the page, to move beyond capacity limits, to move beyond these color coding, move beyond social distancing and physical distancing, and yes, as you saw me walk up the stage, move beyond mask coverings and move beyond wearing these masks. Now, full disclosure, there are a few caveats in that respect, but we'll get to those nuances and details in a moment. I'm pleased to be here with so many remarkable people that are responsible for us being here, members of our executive team, including our own Dr. Fauci, Mark Galley, Dr. Galley, who has been so instrumental in our efforts, and grateful for all his hard work. When you declare an emergency, as we did 15 months ago, you need the head of the Office of Emergency Services. Mark Gilladucci is here as well, and we thank him for his outstanding work. We have a czar. Every state needs a czar. We have our own vaccine czar, Yolanda Richardson, who is here as well, and we're grateful for her incredible leadership and stewardship. And the two folks side by side with me throughout this effort, Jim DeBoo and Ana Montesantos. I want to thank them for all their incredible work over the course of last year. I'll be introducing three remarkable leaders that represent local government and two branches of state government, at least two members of the Assembly, or one of the Assembly and one of the State Senate. I want to thank them, and I'll do that just in a moment, for their incredible leadership as well, all representing this district. But look, this has been a tough year for all of us, tough 15 months for all of us, all the fear and anxiety that we've all had to work through. And I'm mindful of that stress still upon so many of you. I recognize the incredible burden that's been placed on you over the course of the last year. But I want folks to know that the state has your back as we come back. This is not a day to spike the football. This is not a day where we announce mission accomplished. Quite the contrary. We're here because of your hard work. We're here because of your resilience. We're here because of 40 million Californians that met, dare I say, the moment, many different moments over the course of the last 15 months. This was the first state to initiate a stay-at-home order. This was a state that was guided by science, by data, by facts, by observed evidence, not ideology. As a consequence, the state of California has among the lowest case rates in the United States of America, among the lowest positivity rates in the United States of America, and proudly among the highest vaccination rates in the United States of America. And I want to thank everybody that worked so hard to work through some challenging and vexing times, to work through a lot of the misinformation, a lot of the politics that took shape, unfortunately, as it relates to mask wearing, as it relates to the vaccination programs themselves. But 40.5 million, over 40 million doses of vaccines have been administered in the state. And foundationally, that's why we're here today. We were one of just 11 states at the time to administer over 70% of first doses to every adult in the state of California. We did that 1 month before President Biden's formal goal of July 4th. As a consequence of the vaccination efforts, we have seen a substantial reduction in the spread of COVID-19. We have consistently been, over the course of 6+ weeks, below 1% positivity. We've had the lowest case rates in the country for the vast majority of the last month. As I said, we're among the lowest now, number 3 in the United States of America. When you put the vaccination program in perspective, the second most administered doses of vaccine have been in the state of Texas, but we are ahead of that state by 16.3 million vaccine doses. Number 9 in the world if you put California's vaccine efforts in perspective. And I say all that not to impress any of you, but to impress upon you the hard work that's been done and the work we still have in front of us. We are mindful and sober that we need to continue to encourage people to get vaccinated, and we need to encourage people to be thoughtful, to be judicious, mindful of these mutations, mindful of the variants all around the rest of the world, mindful that not everybody is doing as well as the state of California. And we have people traveling from all around, not only the country, but around the world, coming to venues like this. We need to keep our guard up. We can't let our guard down. And that's why we do encourage people in mass, large events to just be thoughtful, particularly those of you that have not been vaccinated, to wear face coverings, just to be thoughtful in terms of the nature of this disease and this pandemic. So I say all that, but we're really here not only to celebrate this day, moving beyond the blueprint formerly in the state of California, but also, as I said, to celebrate a number of remarkable local officials. And I want to just start with your own president of the County Board of Supervisors, someone well known not only here in Los Angeles, but all across the United States of America, former cabinet secretary under the Obama administration, my friend, president of the LA County Board of Supervisors, Hilda Solis.
Thank you, and muchas gracias. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Governor Gavin Newsom, all the elected officials, and everybody here who has really made this day superb for us. And I couldn't think of a better place to be than right here, where California today is roaring back at Universal Studios. So let's give everybody a big round of applause. It's awesome. And I don't have to tell you that the last year and a half has been a roller coaster, I think, for so many of us here in the state. And at the same time, we have been filled with profound grief because of the many loved ones that we lost and people that suffered during the pandemic. And I know that times are changing now. We're doing our best, but I can't forget the 23,000 people or more that lost their lives here in LA County. So while we mourn them and we pray for them and provide condolences to their family, we also look forward to a better day. And I do want to say that LA County has stood very strong and next to the governor as well as to the Biden administration in terms of making sure that everybody that needs and wants a vaccine can get it. And right here in LA County, we've already provided 9.7 million doses of the vaccine that have been administered already. And this is as of last week. But we still have a ways to go. In communities of color that I represent in the 1st District, we still have a number of people that aren't convinced that they need to get vaccinated. And it isn't just the Latinx community, it's the African American community, it's the poor communities where essential workers are. We can't forget them, because every time you walk into a market, remember who that person is on the other side. When you go out and you're amongst other people in crowds, take a moment, if they're wearing masks, and maybe think about it and say thank you. Please get vaccinated. And I know that that's a very sensitive issue for so many of us, but it's one that has to be stated over and over again. I want to thank the governor and his staff, because at an early time during the pandemic, he took some very bold steps. But that's him. He uses data, scientific data, healthcare data, and he's watching how we can improve the status of our state. And not just LA County, but the entire state. And I have to give him that credit, as well as his leadership team, who worked with us tirelessly on making sure that we had access to the vaccines right away. I'll never forget that day we were at Cal State LA. And along came also FEMA, yourself, and we also had the commitment that we were going to have mobile units. Mobile units have saved my community, because not a lot of people have access to transportation. They couldn't come to the big mega events because they didn't have a car. So guess what? We had to go to them, and we did it. We did it with your help, Governor, and I'm so very proud to stand next with you and everyone else that made that happen. But we're still not all the way there yet, as you say, so I'm heartened to say, let's still be careful when we go out. We still have a number of our children in our schools that have not been vaccinated yet. And I hate to say this, but in our Latinx community, there's a lot of parents that are still very fearful of what this means. But we can turn it around if we send a message that it works, it saves lives, and it's time for you to get vaccinated. So briefly, in Spanish, nomás quiero decir que es un placer estar aquí hoy día con el gobernador, con todos los elegidos y las personas aquí celebrando este día muy, muy especial para todo el estado de California, porque nosotros estamos celebrando y brindando que no necesitamos tener la máscara en todos los eventos donde se encuentra otra gente, pero tenemos que tener cuidado. Y también tomando seguridad y cuidado que vamos a tomar la vacuna, las personas que no han tomado la vacuna, que por favor hágalo de pronto. Y llámanos. Estoy muy agradecida a las personas que nos han ayudado aquí en el condado y en el estado de California, especialmente los enfermeros, los bomberos, todas las personas que han trabajado tanto para abrir un parque como este. También los trabajadores aquí merecen un aplauso. We should give a big round of applause to the people who work here at Universal Studios because they also represent our neighborhoods, our families, and they've helped us to come back roaring. So solamente con esto quiero decir, vamos a brindar este día celebrando, ojalá que las personas que van a ganar en la lotería, las personas vienen de Los Ángeles. ¡Uy! Vamos a luchar por eso. Y con eso, I just want to say I now have the privilege and honor of inviting Assemblymember Nazarian, who represents this district, to come and join us and say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary and Madam Supervisor. First and foremost, today is a day of humility, celebration, as well as saying thank you. So I'll start off by first saying thank you, Governor. Thank you for choosing this location to make your announcement, to come forward and to tell California, to give California your message. Thank you for also being the first, when the federal government was asleep at the switch, to ignite that interest, to make sure that the federal government did what it was responsible to do and shut down over a year ago. We needed to take affirmative steps. Federal government wasn't doing it. California led the way. Soon after California, New York started, and so went US, and so went global, the entire globe. So thank you for what you've done. Thank you for the vision you've laid out. And thank you again for choosing this location of all. This is at the heart of what California is about. Entertainment industry, good labor jobs. Great to see some of our representatives right here from the Teamsters as well as IATSE. And the protector also of a lot of good paying service jobs, as well as the small mom and pop jobs, the little vendors that make up the microcosm of California. Over the last 16 months, I've worked closely with Universal Studios in preparation for this day, and it brings me great joy to welcome all of you here for a safe return. Getting to today, this moment was not easy. It was a lot of work. It took weeks of bending the curve and endless Zoom calls and isolation from many, loss for others. Businesses had to get creative, and we had to find new ways to just get through it all. 40 million vaccines, as the governor said earlier, and 16 months later, California has shown that we continue to lead. We have given almost 16 million more vaccines than any other state. And we continue to lead this country, especially in times when our country lacked a competent leader. Today's celebration is for those who put in the hard work towards creating a healthy California, where getting vaccinated is not only for your own enjoyment, but your neighbors, grandparents, and entire community. Folks, as much as we are celebrating, there's also the humility factor today. Right here, we have demonstrated that in mass, we can accomplish what we put our minds to. Over 70% vaccination has been reached in California among adults over 18. But right from here, just a few minutes away from here, in the communities of Valley Glen, Lake Balboa, or Toluca Woods, you've had spikes of several fold of infections just in this last week. That tells us that even though the overall numbers are in a great place, and Dr. Gali could talk to this much more succinctly than I can, even though we're doing great on the overall picture, there are still subcultures within our entire state that are suffering. and it's our responsibility to stay vigilant and to make sure that everyone is covered. Thank you again, Governor. Thank you, Universal Studios, and I have the pleasure of introducing Senator Hertzberg.
Hey, everybody. As we start out in the Senate, we want to point a personal privilege, and I just want to give a shout out to our own Dr. Fauci, to Monsantos and Dabu. I don't think you guys have slept, and I think we violated every labor law under the sun with you guys working as hard as you did, and I suspect that's the case. Very briefly, I just want to start with the words of our editorial headline from a major newspaper. Welcome back. That's what it says in the Los Angeles Times. Although we have the admonition by the governor, our long pandemic nightmare is almost over. Today represents one small step in this incredible, complex, painful, and difficult pandemic, and one giant leap for the great state of California, our businesses, our schools, our communities, our workers, and all of us. And all I want to say is, I am sorry, Disneyland. I am a San Fernando Valley guy, and now that we're open, I'm going to Universal Studios. And with that, I want to bring back the governor, but I just want to say one thing about this cat. Known him a long time. I'm a kid who's been around politics for a long time, and I am a policy wonk to the extreme. Double extreme, as Dabu will tell you. This guy, it's extraordinary what he's done. Everybody wants to kick his butt and complain and all that stuff. He is working every day, night and day, putting his heart into it, finding the best brains around the country, doing what it takes. It is an extraordinary job under extraordinary circumstances. I was a speaker during the time of the energy crisis, and it's nothing compared to what Newsom's had to go through. Not only just the fires and 4 million acres and the pandemic and all the collateral issues. And I just give him just AAA marks for sticking it out, going for it, never blinking, never stopping, never buckling, getting up every day, and making it happen and being governor of this state of California. Everybody, Gavin Newsom.
I just fired my communication team. Congratulations, Senator, on the new job. My gosh. Well, now you know why I wanted to brag on not only the senator, the assembly member, the supervisor, but all the elected officials all up and down the state of California that were on the front lines, grinding every single day and taking a lot of the incoming nonstop. And I cannot impress upon you more how proud I am across the spectrum. 470 plus cities in this state, 58 counties, red counties, blue counties. But at the end of the day, in the aggregate, the state came together, rode in the right direction, and we are where we are today. And by the way, it's an important point to note, and we're going to get on with the show in a brief second, that we talk about California roaring back. 38% of America's jobs now are coming out of the state of California. 38% of America's jobs. We are the tentpole of the American economy in terms of its economic recovery, and that's because of our health interventions. Not despite them, but because of those health interventions. And I think that's important to note. The economy here in the state of California contracted at a lower rate than Texas and Florida because of the health interventions. And it's coming roaring back as a consequence because we've tamed this virus substantially. And so that's an important moment to mark, something Dee Dee Myers, heads our business development, would remind each and every one of us if she could, and she was here at this mic. But look, you're wondering what the heck we are doing here besides enjoying a lovely sunny day, 98 degrees and humidity in Southern California. We are here to get on with the show and to showcase and highlight some of the efforts we've made over the course of the last few weeks, and that was to increase our vaccination rates. You saw across the country a decline in total number of people getting vaccinated. There were efforts in states large and small to stem that by doing incentives, cash prizes. California was no different. That said, we are the biggest state, and so we have the biggest cash giveaways and cash prizes. Just last week, we did the second of 2 rounds of $50,000 prizes. We've distributed now to 30 individuals those $50,000 prizes, and I'm pleased here today to introduce to you two recipients of the drawings, the recent drawings that received $50,000 because they received a vaccine. Every single person in California that's received a vaccine is eligible for the drawing we'll have today and has been eligible for the drawings that we've done last Friday and the Friday before. But with that in mind, let me introduce you just briefly to two of those individuals because we got to hand them their checks. And I want to introduce to you Aurelia and Reina that are both here, recipients and beneficiaries of getting vaccinated, getting healthy, and getting rich at the exact same time. Nice to see you, Aurelia. How are you? Why don't we come close to this mic? Let me, I want to, before we hand the checks out, I want to just briefly, and Reina, thank you for being here. Just a little bit, and I know that this is, easy because you do this every day in front of the cameras. What inspired you to get the shot in the first place, the vaccine?
I wanted to protect myself and protect my community.
Yeah. And and when did you get it? When did you get the first dose?
I don't remember the first one. The last one was in May 18th.
May 18th.
The second.
And no hesitation.
No.
You were enthusiastic. Now, you never imagined getting $50,000.
I didn't even know about this.
But we appreciate that you at least came public and you're here. Tell me a little bit about, I mean, you came to this country as a relatively young lady.
Yep.
You became an American citizen.
Yep.
You came to LA proper. You have a remarkable career path, but may I be so bold, you live, kind of paycheck to paycheck,
I do,
like millions
yeah.
of other Californians.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about it.
I love my job. I love my career. But yeah, like everybody else, it's difficult month to month.
And so what do you want to do with the $50,000?
I need a new car.
You need a new car. That's good. Some car dealers in the background are very enthusiastic. And local electeds that get the sales tax. That's a second conversation. What else? You got an old laptop, I'm told, as well.
An old computer. Yeah.
How old's the computer?
It's probably 13 years old.
All right. I mean, that's not old. That's ancient.
I know.
So with this $50,000, you'll be able to, get a car, pay down thing. What else do you think you're going to do with the money?
Maybe take a trip.
Maybe take a trip. Where are you thinking of going?
Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah.
All right. And what about Universal? You going to come back here?
For sure.
All right. Aurelia, big round of applause. And Reina, who's kind enough to be here and just wants to take the check. Not that she wants the money and run, but she wanted to take the check. And we'll do a quick photo. Let's get over here, guys, so we can do a quick photo. We'll put that down and just congratulate the $50,000 Friday, 2 winners, 2 of 30 winners that won these $50,000 checks. Well, thank you guys. Try to deposit that at the largest ATM you can find in California. We appreciate both of you. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your example. All right. So now I have the pleasure of introducing the person that was the first one to get vaccinated in the state of California. I had the privilege of being there with her and Eric Garcetti, the mayor of LA, down at Kaiser. I think it was in December of last year. So let me welcome up to the stage Helen Cordova. We'll talk a little bit about her experience, not only receiving the first vaccine, but being on the front lines of this pandemic. Helen, how are you feeling?
I am feeling so emotional, excited, hopeful. December 14th will live in my memory forever. Not only getting that first dose, but knowing, hindsight is always 20/20. And so at that point, we were beginning to manage the biggest wave that our unit saw. And we were tried to our very wit's end. Our resilience was definitely tested. And to look back now to where we were, it's a little eerie, but also just encouraging and exciting how far we've come. And it hasn't been just us. It's been a whole state effort, country, everyone coming together.
And we talk a lot about essential workers, and we can't talk enough or thank you enough for being there quite literally on the front lines. And big round of applause to not only Helen, but tens of thousands of others in the state. But you made an interesting point, and it's a good point to contextualize. When you got that first dose, we were in for a dose of real challenge later in December and January. There was a point not too many months ago in January where we had to reach to other states to get, and I don't mean to be maudlin about this, to get body bags. We had run out of body bags in parts of Southern California. So maybe describe some of that heroism you saw, some of the humanity that you saw being there on the front lines during those trying moments.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the hardest points of my career, and I for sure for all the hundreds of thousands of healthcare workers. We saw way more death than we'd ever like to see. We held way too many hands because families were not able to come into the units. The amount of times that it would just be one after another, you know, it does a number on you. But I definitely saw our team work come through. Just being able to look at each other and be like, hey, we got this. Or whether it be for our unit in specific saying, hey, boba run, like, let's do an order. And that was those little moments in time that brought a little bit of normal in a time of great, like, sadness.
No, I appreciate it. What would you tell folks? Because, look, this is, the vaccine efforts continue after today. What would you tell folks that are still on the edge of making a decision, still unsure, that think we got this, that we're at this point, we reopen, now I don't need to get my shot? What would you tell folks that may be on the fence around the vaccine?
I would definitely, my message has always been the same: get informed, get that objective scientific data. I know early on there's just that hesitancy. It's new, it's unknown. Just how when we first started this pandemic, we just didn't know about this virus, and just when the vaccine first rolled out, there was a lot of nerves and anxiety around it. But I think we've had enough time that has elapsed, and we've seen just so many people roll up their sleeves and get that vaccine and be okay. And so I think that's an encouraging point for those on the fence.
I love it. All right, well, big round of applause to our first vaccinated Californian. And now I want to bring up someone you all know from Access Hollywood, and that is Scott Evans, who's going to help us with the big drawing we're about to announce in a second.
Oh, shoot. Hey, I'm messed up now. Give me a microphone.
Oh, no.
How are you, brother? Good to see you.
Can we redo this? Is rehearsals.
I know,
I'm going to take that back.
No, I got it now. How y'all doing? No, that'd be cool if it was like 70 degrees or like 110 degrees. How y'all doing?
Sweaty.
That's better. It's good to be here, man, with some good news.
With some good news finally, Scott, and I want to just thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you for being here with us today. Thank you for being here with one of our legitimate heroes. In this pandemic, sheroes, as some may call her.
Yeah.
Scott, any message to folks, just like Ellen, just anybody, out there that may be a little hesitant? We've got a lot of work to do, and as the Assembly member said, still a lot of work to do as it relates to the issues of equity and making sure we're truly reaching out to diverse communities up and down the state. Any final messages as it relates to encouraging people to get vaccinated?
Well, I think, being one of the first shows for NBC to come back, Access Hollywood, on stage here in production in California was a major, major move. It was a major push. And like Helen said, I think the major thing, or the first thing I would say, is to find the information, right? Yeah. Don't rely on the situations that you're seeing on Facebook, the comments that you're seeing in social media posts. Find real information, consult with your doctor, and then go about the best decision you can. You know what I mean? I think I would urge everyone out there to get vaccinated. I remember the relief that I felt with the first dose. Would anyone else here agree? There was just a moment of like, okay, cool, that was a prick. that got me. But then there was a sense of just relief and a return to a sense of normalcy. I think that was something that for me was worth it for sure.
I love it. And by the way, it must be wonderful to see this semblance of normalcy,
Man,
right? The doors open. And
to see the globe spinning again at Universal Studios.
Thanks again, Universal.
Yeah.
All right, Scott. So
now, brother, are you hot?
Man, I'm good. It's all good.
Yeah, because you're not sweating out a bead.
I mean, oh yeah, no, thank you. I mean, thank you for saying I'm hot. I appreciate it. Let me just explain what we're doing here and what this machine, this contraption is behind you. We've done a series of incentives in the state of California. We did these $50,000 Fridays, which we just announced. We're doing $50 gift cards, by the way. Anybody that hasn't been vaccinated will get $50 gift card upon getting vaccinated. We want to encourage folks to take advantage at least of that. But everybody, as I said, that's gotten vaccinated, at least one dose, is in the lottery, even though it's not a lottery, according to the lawyers that are assembled here today.
The nod.
For a drawing. So 22 million folks, random. Could be one of you, literally, behind the cameras or watching. could be one of the two of you as well. It can't be me because I'm excluded, sadly. But we are now, we've basically taken that 22 million, we've broken it down to about 200. Those 200, we broke it down to 50. And we have 50 balls in here, we're gonna be picking 10. The number is a number that coincides with an individual living in a particular county. Today we'll announce the county, not the individual, because we respect people's privacy. Helen will put a sticker of where that individual resides in what county, and we're gonna pick 10 people at random, right, Scott? At random. This is not predetermined.
Yes, at random. What was my number again?
Yeah, no, I think I said you were number 17.
17,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
17.
that's not the case. Completely at random. We got 5 members of the lottery here to make sure of that, and there's a fancy guy from security at the lottery. They have their own security at the lottery, so don't mess with security from the lottery. So they take this very, very seriously, as we do as well. But here's I'm burying the lead. Scott, Helen, the winners, there'll be 10 of them, not one. Eat your heart out, the rest of the country. There'll be 10 random winners, each winning $1.5 million. So this could be you. Woo! So with no further ado, Helen and Scott, let's get this machine rolling.
Okay.
And Scott and Helen, you will pull out
now
these balls.
I just want to say for my friends who are watching, we're not picking the numbers, we're reading the numbers.
Oh, well done.
You know what I mean?
That's well done. Well done. Thank you for the clarification.
You read? Yeah. You
All right,
go
there's
the
first one.
Here we go.
No, these are you.
All right.
All you. What
46. The number is 46.
From Los Angeles.
From
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
So that literally could be many of you. All right.
We ready for the next number?
I'm ready for the next
number.
number.
It's a good one. It's a real good one. 13. The number is 13.
13. Another Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Are you sure you didn't rig this?
Now listen, I said I'm reading the numbers.
I don't know.
I almost called you Gav.
Where's that security from the lottery? I want to double check.
Come
What
on.
number is this?
This is number 10. The number is
from
10.
Marin County.
Marin County.
All right. Marin.
Hit him, Helen.
That's a first.
My geography fails me.
You got it.
I will be honest.
Yep, it's right there. Right there. You're looking at it. Right there. Hit him, Helen.
Bay Area. Bay Area.
Up,
Bay Area.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
I can save your life, but geography, you know, is a little shaky.
I got you, girl. I got you. That's what we're here for. The next number, 25. 25.
Riverside.
From Riverside, California.
Riverside.
There are a few folks from Riverside right here.
Riverside.
All right. Number 5.
It's a good one.
What number?
Numero uno.
What are the chances of that?
That's one.
Number
Los Angeles.
Of course.
Come on, LA.
Number 1 is Los Angeles.
Come on, LA.
Of course.
Oh, shoot.
Now, something doesn't feel right about this.
Y'all ready for another number?
We got, what, 5 more? Let's do it.
14. The number is 14.
Santa Barbara, California.
14. Santa Barbara.
Beautiful Santa Barbara.
No matter what they say, I'm out, child.
All right.
Okay, let's see. 27 is the next number.
Number 27.
Sacramento.
Oh, look
Stand
at all
up.
my staffs all applying now.
Right?
They
We're like,
all
oh,
think it's
shoot, that
them.
might be it.
They all
That
think
might
it's
be
them.
it. Okay.
Oh, wait, you gotta know where
Now
Sacramento
you know where
is.
Sacramento is. Hit him, Helen.
Unbelievable. All right, Helen.
38.
Number 38.
38. We've only got 2 more.
Stanislaus.
Stanislaus.
That's the first for Stanislaus.
Now that's a
Oh,
boom.
well, oh, that was easy.
Stanislaus.
Yeah, it was easy.
Next number. Y'all ready?
We got 2 more.
2 more.
This is it.
50. The number is 50. 50.
Another
Los Angeles.
$1.5 going to
Yes.
Los Angeles.
It's a good chance it could be you.
Hilda, this is an economic boom.
It's a good chance it could be you. The
All
last
right,
number.
Scott, Helen, this is it. Last chance.
Can we get
to
a-
win $1.5 million? We have given away almost $15 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of damn money.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Okay, can we get a drum roll like a yeah? Come on, give me
This is
something. Come on, give me something.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final $1.5 million
Ooh.
grand prize lottery winner
The number.
in the Vax for the win. The number is
The number is 23.
oh
Ventura.
County. A lot of Southern California love.
Hey.
Look at that. Well done, Helen.
Hit him, Helen.
Well done, Scott. Well done, Helen. Well done to the team. $15 million of cash prizes handed away.
Hey.
Now, and let's bring up a check.
Oh, yeah.
Representing the $1.5 million. And Helen
Big
and
money.
Scott.
Big
I
money.
mean, this could be your check. We don't even know. But let's do a quick photo representing the 10 checks that we've just handed out in the state of California. All right. Well done. Thank you both for your incredible work, and thank you for the privilege of dishing out $15 million in cash.
So good.
I want to thank Helen and Scott, and I want to just now ask the members of the press that are assembled to be kind and gracious, considering how warm it is outside.